What's good, YouTube? We're back here in another video. Today's video, as you see by the title, today we'll be telling the story time. Now, I know we haven't gotten a lot of those old Solo Minotti or Pretty Boy Fredo type story times with 2K gameplay in the back, and that's what I'm willing to bring back. I'm trying to bring back those good quality videos that people can just sit back, watch. Either you about to go to sleep, you can listen to it, or you about to eat some food, you can go to it. You got 2K gameplay in the back, and you got a great story time going. So I just want y'all the boys to enjoy this story time. Sit back, relax, grab whatever you want. If y'all, you know what I'm saying, take part in certain activities, you feel me, that involve you know what I'm saying, being in the clouds, this is something for that right here, you feel me? So every time, matter of fact, if you do that, every time that I say the word girl, because this story time is going to involve a lot with a girl, I want you guys to take a hit. Or for my youngins, every time that I say the word girl, you got to knock out 5 push-ups, 10 push-ups, something like that. But let's go ahead and start this story time right here. This is the story time of how I went through what we call love and basketball, and it ended out in a very bad way. Now, we're going to take this all the way back to middle school. Now, in my middle school, this is how it was set up. You had your 6th grade, you had your 7th grade, and you had your 8th grade. Now, the middle school that I went to, I would say it wasn't really a public school, right? For all my smart people out there, I know you guys know what IB is, like those type of schools, what the IB profile schools are. Basically, it's like an early college program in a way, you feel me? So it's for a lot of the smart kids. So a lot of the smart people went to this school, you feel me? And it was pretty chill there, you know what I'm saying? I was usually the type, I've always been the same way when it comes to school. I may know people and people know me, but I was never really the type of person to get into a bunch of stuff, you feel me? I was never really the type to do nothing crazy. I was just the kid getting his school stuff done, getting ready to go home, play the game, talk to people when they talk to me. And I was just, you know what I'm saying, just the chill dude. Basically the chill dude every year of school. Now, this is going into my 6th grade year. We're going to start from the beginning into 6th grade year. Now, my 6th grade year, I'm just getting into middle school. It's a whole different atmosphere from elementary school. You finally, you know what I'm saying? Now, mind y'all, I didn't get a phone until middle school. I wasn't one of the kids. I know this younger generation grow up. They have phones in elementary. Y'all having phones in the 1st, 2nd grade. Me personally, I didn't get my first phone until middle school, 6th grade. And not only did I get my first phone in elementary, I had a Galaxy, Samsung. So I really wasn't doing nothing. I didn't get the iPhone until I literally got to high school. So I'm off the Samsung phone at the start of middle school, okay? I'll get my phone. I'm hype. I've never had a phone. I know all the people in middle school, all the girls, all my guys, they all have phones. So the fact that I finally had a phone, I'm like, okay, I can finally network. I can finally be with my friends. I can talk to my friends. I can do all this, that, and the third, right? So as I get my phone, I'm just talking to everybody. I'm, you know what I'm saying, asking everybody for kicks. I know y'all don't know what kicks is. I know most of y'all probably too young for kick, right? But I'm asking for kicks. I'm asking for the Uvu, the Tango. Only the OGs, only the old head. If you were old head, I guess we old heads now. We getting a little bit old. But that's what we was off of back in the day, especially me because I didn't have a FaceTime. So I had Uvu, Tango, all that, this, that, and the third kick. Now, I remember there was one specific day, right? It was a field trip, okay? Now, there was a thing in the school where if you didn't get your stuff signed or you didn't get your stuff in on time, blah, 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 you couldn't go to the field trips. And me procrastinating with my work, not getting my work done, and not asking my mom to sign the stuff and my dad to sign the stuff, I wasn't able to go on this field trip. I think they went somewhere like a museum or something like that. So me personally, I didn't get to go, okay? But what they do is if you don't sign the permission slip and you got to go, you know what I'm saying, you can't go to the field trip, you basically have class still. You're going through the classes, right? The same classes that you would do if you didn't have a field trip, you're doing that, right? But it's way more freedom. And I'm going to get into the story time. This is when the story time gets a little, we warming up into it. Now, luckily, I had about 3 or 4 of my mans that didn't go on this trip as well. So it wasn't like I was by myself in the school. There were some people that I knew that didn't go on this trip. Now, as we sitting there, I'm in like maybe my second class. First class was slow. It's always the morning. Nobody wants to be in school. You know what I'm saying? So we're not really worried about the first class. Second class hits. We in there. I'm laughing with my friends. The teacher isn't even paying attention. I think they put on a show or something like that and told us to write a paper maybe on it or something like that. Something easy, man. It was something easy, something light for the day. Wasn't tripping off of it, right? Just so happens, like I said, this wasn't a normal private school. This was an IB school. So I guess I realized throughout middle school, we just had random people just starting in school. Like, you know what I'm saying? We just had new people coming in a lot. So now, as I'm walking in this class, I see somebody new sitting in the back. Okay? So you know me, middle school, you know what I'm saying? When you get into middle school, fellas, I know my Showtime squad members, y'all, I know y'all a little young and stuff like that, but y'all getting older, man, so we can have these conversations. When you get to middle school, you start getting feelings for other people. You know what I'm saying? So me, I'm getting into this world where all these girls, you know what I'm saying, they going through stuff. I'm going through stuff. So it's like I'm becoming a man in 6th grade. This is when I became a man in 6th grade, right? I walk into the class and I see a new girl sitting in the back area, basically where I be sitting, right? So I'm looking, I'm like, I've never seen her before. I'm not going to describe her, but just know she was a black woman. We'll put it that way. She was a black woman. And this girl, we're going to call her B. Let's call her B for the sake of the story. We're going to call her B. Now, one thing the first thing I noticed, well, of course, was her. But you also got to notice the attire and what the person is wearing and how I pay attention to that when it comes to anybody. It could be, I can see a dude with a ski mask on, and I gotta get your whole 9. You feel me? I gotta see what type of person you are by what you wear and how you acting. So as I'm looking at her, I see she has the Nike backpack. She had the Nike KD socks. I could tell they was Nike KD socks, and I'm about to explain this. This is how you know I'm a real hooper. She had jogging pants on, but I seen the neon green, and I seen an orange sock. There's only one sock that I know that was like that, and the only people who would know that is the hoopers that really knew about the KD swag. She had the Nike backpack. She had the gray jogging pants. She had like a pink tech, like a pink hoodie, like a Nike hoodie, and she had on some like pink whatever they were. I don't even remember what the shoes were. I'm not gonna lie, but I know they were pink. But she didn't match with the socks, right? So there was only one thing in my mind when I went into this. She's a hooper, okay? Nobody is just I know people say they had the KD swag growing up, you know what I'm saying? People would just always wear KD, but I can tell that she was a hooper. You can tell when somebody can hoop off their attire and how they move and how they act. So me, I'm loving basketball at this time. So I'm, you know what I'm saying? This is already a plus for me. I can already see that she's a hooper, right? So again, I told y'all she was in my seat. So it wasn't like I was just going over there anyway to talk to her. I was going to my seat because we had assigned seats at the time. So I guess they gave her a seat that was open because a lot of people were leaving, right, for the trip. So I go over there and I introduce myself. I'm like, hey, you new here, blah, blah, blah. She's like, yeah, I'm new. My name's B, right? I tell her my name, hey, I'm blah, 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 whoop, whoop. We chatting it up now. I bring it to her. I say, hey, I see you with the Nike socks. I said, you got to be able to hoop if you got the Nike socks. She said, of course. She said, I played on travel teams ever since I was in 4th grade. Now, me personally, at that time, I believed it, right? And I think now I know there's a lot of more kids in travel teams and like AAU teams at that age, but I don't think there was a lot of people playing in the 3rd grade in travel leagues at that time, right? So I'm already not believing her, But her swag already kind of, I'm like, maybe she do hoop. Maybe she is a bucket like that. But me personally, I don't remember having travel teams at that age. I just remember having your school team and if you went out and played with your boys. But she says she's hoop. She's playing on her travel team. She says she's a bucket. I say, okay, bet. When we have our lunch, we had a basketball room. We said, we gonna see if you can really hoop, blah, blah, blah. Mind y'all, she's talking crazy the entire time, bro. She is talking saying she gonna do this, that, and the third. I can't guard her. She got a shot on her, blah, 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 this, that, and the third. And mind you, like I said, I had 3 or 4 of my mans with me that didn't go on the trip. So you know they over here hyping it. Oh my gosh, she gonna bust your head. Oh, she said she really on that. Blah, blah, blah. Now, let me also tell you this. I'm not gonna expose my man's names either. I'm for this sake though, there's gonna be 2 people that we gotta worry about for real. The other 2 wasn't really a part of it, but we're gonna give y'all 2 names of my mans that y'all gonna have to remember in this story time. The names is gonna be Zay and Tay. Okay? Don't get them mixed up. Y'all gotta remember Zay and Tay through this whole story time, okay? Now, Zay, I'm gonna give y'all a description on Zay and what he was like. Zay was the type of dude to always start something. He was the one in class that y'all know that be, oh, you gonna let that slide? That couldn't be me. That was what Zay was. Now, Tay, on the other hand, he was the peacemaker guy, but he was the one you always had to watch out for. Now, I know y'all probably asking, what do you mean you had to watch out for him? Tay was more of like hey man, everything gonna be cool, bro. You know what I'm saying? You gonna be straight. But he'd be the first one to tell on you, or he'd be the first one to start some drama. You feel me? Be the first one to go behind your back and say something. You feel me? So he was more of like the op in this situation. We're gonna call him the op. That's Tay. Zay is the instigator. Okay. Now, Zay is over here. Oh man, she gonna beat you. Blah blah blah. This, that, and the third. Blah blah blah. Right. So now, as we all at the table, blah blah blah. The girl went up. I think she went to the bathroom, something like that. Blah blah blah. Now, Tay is sitting here like, hey man, what y'all think about her? She kind of cold, blah, blah, blah. He hyping her up. He thinking she cold. Zay over here like, oh man, she ain't gonna get on you like that. She with M-Dog. She like M-Dog, blah, blah, blah. She like M-Dog. I say, hey man, I'm not even on that for her. She cool. At this point, bro, when she started talking crazy, I wasn't even thinking about talking to her. I was ready to bust her head in basketball. Because you're not gonna sit here and try to disrespect me in front of my mans and all them and say that you gonna beat me and blah, blah, blah. Now I'm taking this serious. Now I'm playing this like this the NBA Finals, and I'm not letting it slide. So she's in the bathroom, Tay over here talking about, oh man, she cold, blah, blah, blah. I'm trying to get on that. Zay saying, oh, you're not gonna get that, blah, blah, blah. That's not you. That's not your body, ha, ha. He said, bet. Tay comes to me and says, hey man, if you lose, let me get her number. Let me talk to her. Right? Now, I said, hey, bro, I really don't care if you get her number or not. I'm just worried about winning. But I said, since you want to do this, if you, I said, what do I get if I win? He said, hey, man, if you win, I'm going to put in a word for you and I'm going to tell her, like, hey, he really that guy, blah, blah, blah. Personally, I don't know. At this time, I'm just thinking, oh, this is a great deal, blah, blah, blah. But I'm really just peeping like, hey, he really, like, he's being weird about it. It's all about her. He only wants her. Because nobody who's really your man's is going to say something like that, right? Zay over there like, hey, man, take the deal. Again, the instigator. Take the deal, take the deal. Tay like, hey, you going to take it or what, dude? So I just say, all right, that's cool, blah, blah, blah. Now, I don't remember what class this was. I know we watching the movie, TV show, whatever we was watching. And I hear Tay talking to her in the back. You know, he trying to do his little thing, whatever. Woo, woo. Again, I'm not worried because I don't like this girl like that. No more because she started talking crazy about basketball, right? So then lunchtime hits. Lunchtime hits. I got one thing on my mind. It's time to hoop. It's time to hoop. I didn't even want food that day. I was like, I'm ready to hoop. We go straight to the gym. I find her because I think we had like one more class after that. And I didn't have any of my guys in there. It was just a boring class. But after that, we go to the lunch. I see her in the hall. She come up to me. She say, and I remember these words very vividly. She said, "Are you ready to get your head busted sport or she tried to little bro me, right?" So I say, "Oh no, we ain't letting this slide." I said, "Put your shoes on, take them pink shoes off, and come hoop." Now me, at this time, I'm not gonna lie, I definitely had some Curry ones. I'm not gonna lie. I definitely had. If I can find a picture, I'm gonna put them on the screen right now if y'all watch. I'm gonna put the picture of the Curry ones I had. It was like some red and gray Curry ones. If y'all remember this shoe, that's the shoe I had at this time. So I got my Curry ones. Not gonna lie, it was time to ball. I had one thing on my mind. Now, when I seen her drip, y'all, I'm not gonna lie, my whole mindset, she kind of knocked off some attribute points. I'm not gonna lie. She definitely knocked off some attribute points off my game. Because I'm gonna tell y'all why. I'm gonna explain to y'all how she knocked off some attribute points off my game. Remember I told y'all she had the pink outfit. She also had the pink tank top under. She had gray shorts under her sweats. And she also had some KDs. I don't want to say that they were the Aunt Pearls, but I know they were KDs 100%. But if she had the Aunt Pearls at that age, shout out to her. But I don't think they were the Aunt Pearls, but they were something tough. I do remember they were some tough KDs. But I'm not going to lie. She looked, yeah. And then look, this was crazy. I look over at Tay. His eyes and his mouth is dropped to the ground. I remember this fully. He over here drooling to the mouth. I already knew how he was, right? So, mind you, I haven't really talked to this girl like that. She's new, but we are here for one reason and one reason only, and that's the hoop. So, as we hooping, I let her get ball first. I said, ladies first. She said, "Are you sure? Because if I get this ball, you're not getting it back." Talking crazy. I said, "No, there's no way you're going to let this." I said, "Check ball." She gets ball. Y'all, I'm not going to lie. I could sit here and talk to y'all this whole time. Now, I'm not going to say that she was trash. She definitely wasn't trash at all. You could tell that for that age, she definitely could hoop. And especially for you know what I'm saying? Yeah, she could hoop. But when you're playing me, and I'm in my try-hard state, there's no way you're beating me. I'm not going to lie. I beat her 12-3. Straight like that. I beat her 12-3. And the only reason I'm saying that she can hoop is because she had the fundamentals to be able to hoop. Like I said, you can tell when somebody can hoop and when somebody can't hoop. And this girl, if you put her up against anybody, you could put her up against one of the worst guys in your school, and she probably would have won. But again, when you play me, it's just not going to be fair. You feel me? That's not a fair matchup for her. She couldn't beat me. Mind y'all, part that I left out. While we're playing, Tay and Zay, they're doing their thing over there. They, you going to lose, bro. You can't shoot for real. This fluke. You ain't never shot like this. You know how guys be when they trying to hate, when they trying to look good for a girl. They hating, right? So, as the game is over, she lose or whatever. She dapped me up, good game. She say, "Oh, you a real hooper. I can't wait to see you actually play on the team this year. I already know you're going to be a bucket." She starts showing love, blah, blah, blah. I look at Tay. Tay is sick to his stomach because he already knew that it was over. There was no way that he was going to get that girl because I already put pressure on it. There was no way that he was getting her, right? So, as we going back from lunch is almost over now, so we going back to our classes like 4th, 5th hour. Now, this is what crazy. This is kind of what separates everything too. Me and Tay and the girl had a class, but Zay wasn't in this class. Now, Tay, remember, Tay is the one who said that he would put in the word for me, you feel me, if I beat her, right? So it's me, him, and her in the class. And we just sitting there talking. We talking about our favorite basketball players. We talking about who's the GOAT, all this, that, and the third. And I look at Tay, Cause I'm starting to like peep her vibes. I'm like, okay, no, this girl is cool. You feel me? This is like, you know what I'm saying? She's good vibes. She's good peoples. And honestly, now looking back at it, she was like, I'm not gonna lie, she was the perfect definition of like one of the bros. But like I said, at this time in middle school, you looking at it like, oh, it's a girl. I gotta, you know what I'm saying? Gotta do what I gotta do. So I'm looking at Tay. I'm like, hey man, you said you was gonna do what you know what I'm saying? Woo. So put in that word. So he talking to her. He said to her straight up like this. This was some crazy pressure too. He said, hey, be honest, man. Do you like my mans? He said it straight up like this. She said, excuse me? He said, do you like my mans? She says, he's cool. I don't like the fact that he beat me in basketball. I mean, I guess she was straight up too. She said, he's cute, but I don't know. We just met. I'm not going to say that I like him if we just met. Right? All I heard through that whole thing was he's cute. I'm not gonna lie. She had me blushing. I'm not gonna lie. I think I was blushing at that point. I definitely was blushing at that point. Because here's the thing when it comes to it. Right? She was like I said, the person I was in middle school, high school, all that, I was just the chill person. Like I wasn't really like, don't get me wrong, I would talk to people, but I never was really like on nothing crazy, right? But hearing that from somebody else, they saying, oh, he cute, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay. I said, this might be the chance, man. This like story time for another day. We gonna get into that later, but we gotta finish this story time, right? So she says that, he say, oh, that's crazy, you know what I'm saying? That's what's up, blah, blah, blah. And then this is when everything changed. You always gonna have that one L mans in your group, and at that point, I already knew I had an L mans in him. He says, if you remember from the beginning of this story time, and I told y'all I've never had a phone up until this point. He goes straight up to her and says, hey, I see you got an iPhone. It's crazy though, because you can't FaceTime him. He has a Samsung. Now, I'm not gonna lie. He said this loud enough for the other people who didn't go to this trip, there's other people in this class. They start laughing. And I'm just like, so you really just gonna put me on blast? Like, not only in front of the girl, but in front of the class? But then, this is how I know that she was a W girl, and this is why I said she's probably one of the bros. You feel me? She could have been one of the bros. She say, and I remember this vividly, like straight up, I remember this. She says, so now you hating because you ugly and I like your mans more than you. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. That whole class, all you heard was, dang. And I remember we had this one, like, there's always a guy in the class who never, like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like you gonna see him as a dropout, basically, type stuff. This guy literally yells out in the crowd. He says, dang, she basically said, you ugly as just yells it, right? Teacher like is looking at it like but like, I'm not gonna lie, we had a younger teacher. So I could tell that he was thinking about laughing, but he couldn't laugh because he's a teacher. But he knew that was funny too, because everybody started laughing. We like, oh my gosh. And the girl was sitting there laughing, and Tay is sick to his stomach. He over there like, man, it's not even funny, blah, 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 doing all this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. Man, you, blah, blah, blah. He ain't gonna mess with you anywhere. She ain't gonna mess with you, blah, blah, blah. Bro takes off in the classroom. You would have thought this was a elementary school. He takes off in a temper tantrum, pissed. He over there, man, blah, blah, I'm out of here. Teacher saying, where you going? He said, I'm going to the bathroom. He said, nobody here anyway. This ain't even a real class. He's sick to his stomach, y'all. I promise y'all, this was the funniest stuff ever. Bro was so mad he had to walk out the classroom. And girl sitting there, she's school close to me. She say, I got you, bro. I'll never let somebody do that to you, right? And I'm not going to lie. After that, I really think me and her really hit a good connection. We never dated, though. That's what's crazy. Even after all of that said, all that stuff done, we never dated. We never did nothing. She was literally one of the bros. Honestly, bro, I want to see, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what she's doing now. But, like, at that point, bro, she was definitely cool as hell. She was probably one of the coolest people that I met in high school or middle school. But that was just a funny, like, I'm not going to lie, bro. It's more of the story, basically. you gotta watch who you hang around, because there's gonna be snakes in your group everywhere. Like, I really had one of my L-mans, right? L-mans try to sit here and play me like I was a fool. Like, he tried to like basically try to put me in a spot where I wasn't gonna get the girl, or he tried to hate on me where I couldn't get the girl, and it backfired for him heavily. So I'm letting y'all know right now, if y'all, you know what I'm saying, if y'all one of them L-mans, if one of y'all one of them people that just like to hate and put your mans down, it's going to backfire you in the end every single time. But I'm not going to lie, that girl was definitely like one of the, like, that was a highlight in middle school, I'm not going to lie, because she was just so cool and it was fun, and just being around her and like, and being in that story time, because like the stuff, like him trying to still talk to her after that fact, and she kept turning him down, was the funniest stuff ever. Like, she kept turning him down, and I'm keep telling him like, bro, she's one of the bros, she's not gonna go for it, and he kept trying. I even think he was trying in like up to like 8th grade, and she wasn't going for it. And that might have to be a second story time of what happened with them two. We might have to drop that story time. Let me know in a comment down below if y'all want to see that. But that's basically it, man, for this story time. A little calm, light story time. I'm definitely going to drop some more heat bangers. I got some more crazier story time stuff that's like borderline, like, should I really tell it or not? But I really think I'm in a spot right now where I could tell these story times. Not the crazier ones where I got to be out away before I tell this crazy story times. But that story time right here, that's a light story time for y'all. We definitely going to get some more story times in, so be ready for them. But hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this story time. We're going to drop some more of these. I definitely want to like span these up a little bit because I like telling story times. But thank you guys for watching this video. And as always, we are out.